Not just musicians, especially Hong Kongers in general. So don't just keep saying yes. You should have the integrity to say no.
Everybody.
I was born and I was raised here in Hong Kong all my life. So for me, Hong Kong is my home.
Hi, Oliver.
Hi.
Long time no see, right?
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been never better.
So you're doing something great?
No. That was being sarcastic.
So people remember you as the guy who stand on the street being firm with the police. So let's take a review back on that night. So, you know, when the police was trying to arrest you, you didn't like move and just stand firm. What's going on in your mind? Why are you so firm on your ground?
You mean on the 24th of October
Yes.
2019? Well, all I knew at the time was I was just singing a song and there was a crowd and the police were harassing me. You know what? This thing happened a lot of times before. I've always had cops, you know, harassing me and trying to stop me from singing for several reasons.
Even before the movement?
Even before the anti-extradition movement. So I just thought it was a normal day, you know, normal night. All of a sudden, this time there were cameras around, so it blew up the way it did. But now that I think about it, looking back at what happened that night, I think it had something to do with me singing a certain pro-democratic song that the authorities didn't like.
Were you afraid? Like when the police want to take you away? What's on your mind at that moment?
The first time that I got involved or surrounded, harassed by the police was on the 24th of October 2019. At the time I was not scared. Because at the time I didn't know what to be scared about. Because again, I was just a street performer and I was just singing a song.
And it's legal.
And it's legal.
Yeah.
Well, of course, at the time the cops threatened to arrest me. But nobody knew what they were going to arrest me for. There was no law that they could really use exactly to arrest me. Yeah, sure, the authorities can keep harassing me, but I'm just going to continue singing. As soon as I started singing Glory to Hong Kong, more people came to support and just to watch what will happen next. So at the time, I really didn't feel frightened or scared or threatened at all. But, you know, fast forward to after the national security law, I got arrested out of the blue twice in a row consecutively. So that's when I started feeling more scared. That's when the fear started to come with me. Before the national security law, no matter how many times I sang that song, the only thing that the cops could really do was just harass me or try to stop me or tell me to go away. That's all that they could do. But after the national security law, all of a sudden the cops can do whatever they want. And if they tell you that you should leave, you should leave. And if you don't do as they say, they will charge or arrest you for certain very just ridiculous things. Like what happened to me already, which is criminal intimidation, obstruction of police operation, and possession of weapon.
Weapon
Your
for guitar?
Because I had
the cuff.
I had a toy handcuff, and they thought it's reasonable to add another charge to me. So the noise complaint itself is done. I managed to win my legal battle. That's a good thing. You know, but at the same time, the only reason for my victory wasn't because my singing was allowed. That's not the reason. The only reason why I managed to win that case was because the two witnesses who collaborated to prosecute me, their testimonies were not true. They were contradictory to each other, so I was really just lucky.
Okay. So how do you feel about your rights after the national security law? Your own rights?
Honestly, as a street performer, I do feel that my freedom of artistic expression has been really threatened, really intervened ever since the passing of the national security law. I like to connect with the crowd or people through my music, so that's my favorite thing to do. But ever since my 2 consecutive arrests, since the national security law. I was arrested twice. The first time was on the 27th of July, and the other time was on the 8th of August last year.
And then after 8th of August, you didn't do anything?
I didn't go out to busk anymore. I couldn't dare.
Okay.
After my first arrest, the authorities actually kept my busking equipment for a couple months. But when they returned it to me, I think I already got the message. The authorities don't want me to sing in the streets. So I think I should really think of a new path to go to. I officially announced my retirement from my full-time street performances on the 21st of October last year.
Oh.
So where I go online is I started this Patreon.
You should have a certain amount of YouTube subscribers, and do they know you're on Patreon?
I think most people know me more on the news for the Glory to Hong Kong singer who's always getting in trouble with the police. I'm more than just that. Yes, I want to be a professional recording artist and going on world tours. That's what I want to do. But for now, I want to be a voice for Hong Kong and lending my voice for the pro-democratic movement. Ever since I got viral that 24th October night, I know now that there's a responsibility that comes with it.
What's your responsibility that you sense you have?
I have my personal dreams, but at the same time, I want to put behind my own dream a little bit, do something for Hong Kong first, for the pro-democratic movement. Don't just keep saying yes every time somebody says you did something. If you didn't do anything wrong, you should have the integrity to say no. So I just hope that I get to set a bit of an example to people, not just musicians, especially Hong Kongers in general. If you get into political trouble, it's always okay to say no. And it's always okay to stand your ground and to fight for what you think is right.
So I know you're half Philippines and half Hong Konger, but you consider yourself Hong Kongers or Filipino?
By blood, my dad is a Chinese and my mom is a Filipino. I was born and I was raised here in Hong Kong all my life. So for me, Hong Kong is my home Kong.
So can you go back to Philippines if you want to?
That I don't know because I hold a Hong Kong SAR passport. So I'm not sure about that. But I don't intend on leaving Hong Kong. Well, it's just because it's my home.
Because a lot of people are contemplating to leave Hong Kong because the situation is getting worse and worse every day.
Well, it's not easy to just leave a place. It's really not easy. I know some people personally go overseas and yeah, they get to move there, but at the end of the day, they end up doing something that they don't really like for a living. For me, that's just really not how I like to live. I like to do what I love for a living.
Okay, since you decide to stay in Hong Kong, how do you see the future of Hong Kong?
Well, ever since the national security law, a lot of things have happened. Like with the arrest of Jimmy Lai, Agnes Chow, the arrest of Joshua Wong, and now the arrest of 47 Democrats. I think the future of Hong Kong is in ruins at the moment, to be honest. Which is, of course, very sad. But you know what? I'm an artist. I'm not sure if it solves anything, but at least it adds a little gleam of hope in things when you make art.
Where does the hope lie? Do you see any hope?
I think we should persist so that there is hope. Even if there isn't any hope that we can see right now, it's just keep going. Even if we lose, you know what? Even if we lose, at least we tried. So that's what I have.
So what do you want your music to accomplish?
At the moment, I had a little dilemma, like which direction do I want to go with my music now? Because it was funny because while I was still, again, going back to my YouTube channel, while I was still posting, in the middle of posting romantic / LGBTQ+ themed music videos, all of a sudden I was #1 trending on YouTube or on another channel for singing political songs. So, since then I've been kind of struggling or juggling between two things. Which one should I pick? And I thought, you know what, maybe just that night, the 24th October night was just a one-time thing. And people will forget it. But no, they did not forget it.
They still remember you.
Especially when I was arrested so publicly after the national security law. And now I'm still fighting these court cases regarding my arrests. And I wanted to run away from politics, but now I think I just kind of realized that I cannot run away from this. It's already bestowed upon me. I have to deal with it. I have to face music. So, you know, for me, I actually, as an artist, I want to provide people with concepts now. I don't want to just perform a song out of context. So I'm really in reflection. I don't want to automatically start random weekly online videos where I just sing random songs. I want to put out an album with a certain concept, and I want to make music videos for that album. And
that makes sense.
That's what I want to do. So that's why. But I cannot do any more of that if people don't support the album, the cover album, and the 21 music videos that I have now. I really need people's support on my Patreon. And actually, I have a website coming up. It's going to be called oliverma21.com. And
it's already March now.
It's already March now.
So probably it's middle or end of March.
It's coming out on the 21st of March.
Oh, okay. Good day to pick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of miss your music too. Do you think you can perform for our audience?
Oh yeah,
for
sure. I can do that.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for coming to the interview. And I think people would love to see how you're doing now. And I hope you all the success in your attempts.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so now let's go, right? Okay.
Hey guys, so my name's Oliver, and I'm about to sing Glory to Hong Kong for you guys. But before that, I'm gonna remove my mask if that's okay with you.
We pledge no more tears on our land. In wrath, doubts, despair, we make our stand. Arise, ye who would not be slaves again, for Hong Kong may freedom reign. Though deep is the dread that lies ahead, yet still with our faith on we tread. Let blood rage afield, a voice grows evermore, for Hong Kong may glory reign. Stars may fade as darkness fills the air. Through the mist, a solitary trumpet flares. Now to arms for freedom we fight. With all might we strike, with valor, wisdom both we strive. Break now the dawn, liberate our Hong Kong. In common breath, revolution of our times. May people reign proud and free, now and evermore. Glory be to thee, Hong Kong. Glory be to our Hong Kong.